What's going on, y'all? How's everybody been doing? So we're back. We left off, it ended in Valdosta, so I'm in Val right now. Today is Friday, by the way. And tonight, I will be headed up to Birmingham, and yes, I am gonna be working an extra day. Got a full Memphis set, gonna take that up to Birmingham for 323 miles. So every now and then, you know, I will, you know, stay out, you know, but, you know, they have changed that rule because, you know, before you could stay out, you know, the entire weekend if you want. And at one point, from what I understand, you know, you had system drivers that would stay out long periods of time, but they have since, you know, put a stop to that. So now, you know, you can only work one extra day. So meaning I have to be back. You have to be back at your home terminal, you know, by Saturday night. I am still on the fence if I'm gonna work Labor Day or not. I'm not sure. Your boy's greedy, you know, because I can, of course, you know, we get paid for Labor Day. It's a paid holiday, but, you know, if you were to work, you would also get paid for, you know, whatever miles you run. So, oh no, I'm still on the fence. Plus, I still have to see if they'll even allow me to work that Monday or not, but, you know, we'll cross that path when that time comes. So let's go ahead and get this hooked up and hit the road. So to get from Val to Birmingham, I'm gonna jump on 75. Then I'm gonna catch US 82 and ride 280 all the way up and work my way into Birmingham. Pretty good ride. And for those of y'all that have been here for a while, this particular route, you know, I used to take it all the time when I worked at AAA Cooper, because I used to run Tampa to Birmingham on a set run. So I'm pretty familiar with it. To be honest though, I didn't think they would actually let me stay out an extra day, you know. You know, with it being slow and whatnot, you know. It's been kind of hit or miss, you know, if they let me work that extra day or not. Oh, hang on, y'all. Let's try this again. Whoops. There we go. So hopefully you guys, you know, all enjoyed the last video. You know, of course, I appreciate all the support, the comments, you know, I appreciate you all. So, do got some hazmat on this back trailer. You know what, let's put this down. Hope you guys can see this. Now, of course, had it not been Friday, they would have had me take this all the way to Memphis instead of taking it to Birmingham. But since if I was to go all the way to Memphis tonight, I wouldn't be able to make it back to Orlando. by Saturday. That would have brought me into Sunday. And like I said before, you know, I can't work the entire weekend anymore like I used to. So, but Val to Memphis, Memphis to Val, that's a pretty good ride. I've done it, you know, a few times. They actually have a scheduled run out of here. They got a guy out of Val that runs up there. Pretty decent miles. Let's see. Good thing is, even though most of this trip is all US highway, I don't have to really worry about too much traffic. I should be good getting into Birmingham. And then I spoke with the dispatcher, and more than likely they'll be sending me into the Atlanta area, probably ATB or West Atlanta, and then that way I can get a straight shot home Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I know I'm probably gonna regret this because, you know, with it being Labor Day weekend, I know that traffic is gonna be brutal tomorrow, but let's hope for a safe ride. All right, y'all, let me run back inside, heat up my food, and I will catch up with you guys in just a little bit. Hey y'all, so I have made it to Birmingham and leaving out of Birmingham, headed to Atlanta. It actually worked out. Picked up a relay that came out of Houston right as I'm pulling in. They were pulling in right behind me, so that worked out perfect. So all I had to do was break that set. Since, you know, I didn't need the other trailer, and I just paired it with it empty. So that's what we got going on. 170 miles to Atlanta, and then more than likely that's where I will be ending, and then I'll be headed back to Orlando in the afternoon. So assuming I end in Atlanta, which more than likely I will, unless they send me up the road to ATB, I'll be just shy of a 500-mile night. So I don't know if y'all can see to my left all this construction they got going over here. So from my understanding, they are going to be building a shop. Not sure how big it's going to be, not sure what else they're adding, but that'll be cool, I guess, once they finally finish it. One thing I can say about Birmingham, I don't know if maybe the higher ups had a talk with the terminal, but now when you come here, at least from my experience, you know, I'm usually in and out when I come to Birmingham, because Birmingham, for those who don't know, is a break bulk terminal. And from my experience, you know, and I can't speak for all the other drivers that come here, but at least for me, you know, it wasn't uncommon for me to sit here for at least 3.5, sometimes even 4 hours waiting on my load out of here. But between here and CSD, I mean, they've been on point getting drivers out. So all right, y'all, that's all I got for now. So I will tune back in when we get into the Atlanta area. Alrighty, just like that, we have made it. I think this is my first time taking you guys here. This is our South Atlanta. It's only 4 miles from our break bulk, just on the opposite side of Moreland. For those of y'all that might be, you know, new to the channel, just tuning in, you know, we do have 4 terminals, you know, within the Atlanta area. You know, we have your South Atlanta, the Atlanta break bulk. We have one up in Swanee, and then there's one in Austell. All right. So let me go ahead and drop this, figure out what I'm doing, if I'm ending here or if I'm going up the road, and either way, I'll tune back in with you guys in a little bit. All right, just made it to the hotel. This time I'm at the Days Inn, and I feel like I'm in enemy territory right now because there's so many Estes tractors out here. But yeah, so this time I went to the Days Inn. I was kind of limited on where I could go. You know, I have, when I come to Atlanta, I have, you know, my go-tos. You know, I have the Comfort in College Park. That's usually where I'll go to, or the Radisson. If I can't get in there, I'll go to the Comfort Suites in Stockbridge. So I called Stockbridge, and you know, the lady tells me I got 1 room left, first come, first served. Now mind you, for Stockbridge, you know, between us and Estes, we're the main 2, you know, that use these hotels. So, you know, I hightail it over there just for her to tell me we're overbooked. So, you know, I get on my phone, start, you know, calling around. I call my other go-to for this area. There's a Comfort in Morrow that I, you know, go to as well. Same thing, they're full. So I said, all right, let me try the quality. And y'all know I hate quality. Full, I call, you know, the Days Inn, and you know, they end up, you know, having a room. And of course, it's like at least maybe 7 or 8 Estes trucks out there. So I'm very picky when it comes to the hotels. You know, we got a big old list of hotels, but I'm very, very, very picky. But this is one of them times where, you know, you just gotta, you know, take what you can get. But I mean, it's really not that bad. You know, I was reading some of the reviews about this place. Not the best, not the worst, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest, and I'm gonna get up around about 2 o'clock. Get to the terminal around 3 and find out what my fate will be. So I'll catch y'all later on. So we're back, and right now we're about to leave out of Atlanta, and the plan for today is I'm gonna head down to Ocala. Got a full Ocala set, 354 miles, and then from Ocala we'll head to Orlando, and that's where we'll end it off. Now, being though that it is Saturday, also Labor Day weekend, I'm knowing that the traffic is probably gonna be bad getting down there. I'm hoping I can do this without having to take a break, because usually when I go from, you know, Atlanta to Orlando or Tampa and vice versa, I can make it. Usually it takes me about 6 hours, 45 minutes on average. But being though that it's Saturday, it's also the weekend, something tells me it might take me a little bit longer to get down there. I'm hoping, you know, getting out of, you know, the Atlanta area, I'm hoping it'll be good, you know, getting through like McDonough, Locust Grove, that little area. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but nonetheless, I'll be home sometime tonight. So that's the plan. I'm gonna put on some time lapse, and if anything comes up, I'll check back in with you guys. Ocala. It was something getting down here between traffic. Boy, them cops in Georgia, yeah, they wasn't playing no games. No games, but we're gonna go ahead and take these empties, and then that's gonna conclude it. So, let's see. Write these down. 6771. You know what? I might as well check, make sure this is empty since I'm right next to it. Why not? So hopefully you guys, you know, all enjoy your Labor Day. I think right here, I'm probably gonna cut it here because all I gotta do when I get to Orlando is drop it. So, ain't no point in showing that. So I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. You guys are much appreciated. So as I always tell y'all, thank you to all my day one subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you all. Hopefully you guys all enjoy your Labor Day. We'll catch you in the next one. As I always tell y'all, y'all take it easy and y'all stay safe.